You're still watching Entertainment Thursday right here on Good Morning Kenya. This is Future Voices, where we give young people of this nation a chance to contribute to the national discourse. Today we are talking about the Youthquake and how the youth are shaking up the political landscape, given that we have witnessed them participating in different political discourses. They have even been on the streets talking about issues that are affecting the country. We are talking about politics, we are talking about governance, we are talking about economy, we are talking about matters to do with corruption, their perspective, because we cannot ignore the younger generation and what they have to offer in this country. And for this conversation, I'm joined by four brilliant minds. And on my far left is Aisha Mwachizo, who is a youth activist and a student leader, Kwale County. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you so much.
And also Engineer Mololo Kelvin, who is a chairperson of Musa in Kaiti constituency. Karibu sana.
Asante sana, Mike.
And also Elizabeth Waliuba, who is the director of Imarisha Usawa Youth Leaders also, and SG Youth Leaders Association of Kenya. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much for having me.
And last but not least, Engineer Kevin Sang, a student leader and aspiring politician. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Yes. You know, we have been talking about things to do with how leaders are driving the country, how they are doing in matters to do with governance. But when it comes to the political landscape in this country, let me start with you, Engineer. How do you think the youth are shaping the political landscape within Kenya?
First of all, thank you for having me this morning.
Karibu sana.
And well, youth's indulgence in politics, we've seen their contribution in many ways. And first of all, we've seen the youths, we've seen their rising, and we've seen them, you know, we normally say, many people say that youths are not experienced, but for me, experience without innovation, to me, it doesn't work well. But we've seen youth taking shape in, you know, coming up with new ways of doing politics. You know, we've seen youths even using the, you know, digital campaign and all that, which we've not seen in the past. So youths are taking, you know, youths are bringing, changing the convention of politics, because for youths we are saying we need politics of, you know, fairness. We need politics of, you know, sound-mindedness. We don't need politics of, you know, fake promises and all that. And that's why you see the older generation of politicians, when you see, you know, youths trying to rise up, they suppress them by telling them you're the leaders of tomorrow. But I want to tell the youth that, you know, we are not leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today. The notion of the leaders of tomorrow is just a perception, you know, to try and counteract you, you know, to prevent you from going, you know, miles and all that. So we've seen youths indulgence. We've seen, you know, politics of youths, you know, as politics of activism, politics of, you know, sobriety and all that. So the coming of the youths to the political space has really bring new changes. Yes.
Yes. Well, Yuba, how do you see this? Has tomorrow come for the youth?
Thank you, Mike, for having me here today. And when you say leaders of tomorrow, tomorrow is today. That is what we believe. And at YLAC is a Youth Leaders Association of Kenya, where I serve as the Secretary General. We are building our tomorrow today, because there is no tomorrow without today.
Yes.
So you had asked a question. Please come again. The question.
Do you believe that tomorrow has come?
Yes, tomorrow has come. If we look at the political landscape in the past years, if we look at the involvement of the youth in the past years, the youth have always been passive about matters politics, you know. If we look at the last election, I believe that the participation of the youth was below 10% in terms of voting. But currently, we, the youth leaders, and also the people at the grassroots, are rallying the youth not just to go out and speak about politics, but to also take charge in terms of getting the voters card and ensuring that the youth not only participate on matters wording, you know. We are not here to just speak about politics, but we are here coming in to bring in the change. So yes, tomorrow has come, and we are at the forefront. I will say we are at the forefront of leading this. Why am I saying this? Is because we have seen how we have taken over the internet. Let us look at when the finance bill, the reject finance bill happened. Who are the forefront of it? So the youth are no longer just being governed. We want to be part of the governing. We want to be part of the decision makers. We want to be part of making the policies that govern us. And something that we believe in at YLAC is being a participatory approach, where we are saying that we have to be involved through the processes, you know. We have to be sitting at the tables of decision making. So yes, Mike, tomorrow is here with us, and we are here with the tomorrow, and we are building that tomorrow today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Engineer Mololo, from your perspective, how do you think the youth have influenced the perception when it comes to choosing now leaders that address the issues that wananchi talk about?
Yes, Mike, as we talk today, across the globe and here at home, our own country, you've seen youths move from being sidelined in politics into active engagements in political matters. They are showing up with ideas, courage, determination to change our country. First and foremost, our young generation is well equipped with what we call generational ideas. We are used to those old way of doing things. And there's an adage which says, if you keep on doing something the same way, you'll never see a change. You've seen youth use digital platforms to raise alarms. Some go even beyond to the highest levels of the country. That is one thing that the youth are using to really show up and stand for what they mean. Currently, you are seeing youth participation in community engagements. They are here doing this and that. And be sure that come 2027, we are going to have a revolution completely that will be led by our youth. This youthquake that we are witnessing currently is not a moment. It is a movement. It is a movement. And we urge all our youths to take up, to stand and speak their voices, to be part and parcel of our community, and they will be listened.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not a movement. It's not a moment. It's a movement. Aisha, it's not a moment. It's a movement. What about the momentum gearing up to 2027?
So thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Karibu sana.
So talking about youth, I feel like, as everyone has said, youth are the ones who are supposed to be taking up the space politically, and we're supposed to be part of the decision making, and we are supposed to be part of everything that is happening politically. So we want to fight this disillusionment that we're too young, we're not ready to lead, we're leaders of tomorrow, and we told you that tomorrow is today. So I feel like this was a huge step, given whatever happened in our country recently. We've seen how youth rose to fight for the finance bill, to fight for our rights. They showed that they are willing and they're ready to step up, given the chance to be part of this country. So I feel like Mololo said, this is not just a moment. The momentum is there, and we're fueled by the passion to lead. I feel like we're also trying to address the issue of the legitimacy of whatever is happening, because we'll say that this is, okay, let us address the issue of demography. We see that youth take up at least 70% of the country's population. So is it fair that only the 30% who are the older generation lead us and we're not part of this country? So I feel like that is one of the driving forces that will make youth want to be part of the decision making, because these decisions which are made now are what is going to impact them, is what is going to affect them in the future. So they want to make sure the decisions of the future are made now, and they're part of the people who are making those decisions. So I feel like it's going to be, the momentum is there, and it's not going to end anytime soon, because as Kelvin also said earlier, we shifted this whole politics to even social media, because most of the youth we love social media, the hashtags, the Twitter trends. So I feel like us being so focused on Twitter and X and all Instagram, and when political matters are being discussed in such platform, most people gain this awareness and they get rid of the apathy and disillusionment that the youth previously had. So I feel like this momentum is going to be there. We're not going to stop, and we're going to push on, because we've already started and we have to be there.
As a student leader, how are you doing, or what are you doing to make sure that the youth can participate in electoral process, even political process, within the spaces that you lead, Engineer?
Thank you so much. That's a very good question. Number one, we're having we've had so many spaces where we enlighten youths on the importance of voting. We also tell them we also tell them, we show them, the effects of bad governance that we've seen before. And I'm very sure all the youths in the country now have seen that, bad leaders are elected by those people who do not vote. And I'm very sure going forward, youths are going to rise in large numbers, and I'm sure we are going to vote. We are going to, make sure we install right leaders, so that we discuss this. There are so many notions whereby, leaders are being elected because of some very funny, criteria. This idea of electing leaders, based on the spellings of their names, we are saying no as youths. And also, we are also trying to fight for our space as youth, because you understand there are so many barricades installed by older generation of politicians, because they know that youths are very smart. We are very smart, we are thinkers and all that. So the biggest challenge is the barricades installed by the older generation of politicians, which I'm sure we are going to maneuver very soon. And they've seen that this is a movement, it's not just a notion, it's a movement that we are going to conquer, and things are going to be well. So we are trying to enlighten youths all over the country. We are telling them the importance of voting and all that, and I'm very sure 2027 will be a revolution. You'll see, you'll experience, you'll not believe. And in fact, when I was talking to one of the serious analysts, and he was telling me, for him, he cannot believe what we are doing as youths, because we are really doing a very nice job. And come 2027, majority of the voters will be youths. I can tell you for a fact.
Well, but do you see this aspect, as she mentioned, demographic, turning into something that will be of benefit to them in terms of electing people who are what you would call good leaders?
Yes, Migwi. One thing that I believe is that the youth have learned, and we have the numbers. So she's right about the demographics, right? If we take up to 70% of the population of Kenya, what will deter us from having the right leaders? One thing that I like to mention is that currently the youth are more about, not about the individual, You have a name, Mike, right?
Yes.
But we're not about your name. We are about the real issues on the ground. We are asking, where are the jobs? Day in, day out, we get to hear of kutengwa na kupangwa, right? But is it happening? So what we, the youth, are actually about is the real issues. We do not have jobs. We are looking at our education system, right? What will you be able to do as Mike for us on matters education? We are looking at the area, the aspect of empowerment, because it's the work of the government, it's the work of the legislatures to ensure that they enforce laws and policies and create opportunities for the youth, right? So if we have the numbers, what is going to deter us from getting there? As my colleague has mentioned, we are mobilizing, we are keeping the momentum alive, because if you go on social media, day in, day out, we host spaces, we inform the multitudes, right? So we are not just about us as the leaders, but we are all about the whole country, We are informing everybody else. And today, and not just today, but the mantra that we keep singing is we are leaving no one behind, you know. So one thing that I would like to also mention is about what we are doing for us to harness the numbers is just informing the multitudes, informing the people at the grassroots. We are starting young, you know. We are building them from the younger generation so that by the time they're coming of age, they need to know what are the processes, what do we need to do, how do I get my ID, how do I get to vote, you know, how do I get to make the decision. And we are also informing them on the needs of our communities, because you'll only bring change if you want the change, if you're informed about what you want, if you know what you need. So yeah, I believe that we have the numbers, and if we are well informed, we will make the better decisions.
Yes, you have the numbers, yes. But then again, you look at it from a perspective that what the youth mostly have been saying, tribeless, leaderless, and everything. It's a decentralized kind of a situation. But then again, what are the dangers? How are you going to coalesce together and make sure that you bring about the change that you want within that space? So the aspect of being leaderless, you know, leaderless, tribeless, and everything else. How do you see that impacting the youth movement in days to come?
I will say that we are moving from being leaderless, and we are tribeless for sure.
Yes.
But about being leaderless, maybe I will say that we are moving away from that, because we have seen the youth come together. We have seen them form associations. We have seen people take leadership positions in different spaces and say that this is what we are for, this is what we stand for. And it doesn't hurt to have leaders, because one thing that we were told when we were fighting for the finance bill was that we do not have a sense of direction, right? Is that right?
Yes.
But it is not right. We are here today, we know what we want, right? The person who's at home knows what they want, right? They just needed somebody maybe to table their issues. And we are here. So we are no longer leaderless, we have leaders. We have people, us who are speaking for us, because we placed, I'm sorry to say that we had people placed in the legislative positions who are supposed to be our jubes, who are supposed to be relaying messages for us, who are supposed to be acting in our own interest, and that has not been achieved, as we've been saying, right? So we young leaders are coming on board, and we are building movements, as he mentioned. So we are here to stay, and we are saying that we are not leaderless. We can't be tribeless, because as you see the movements that are being formed, I'll say they're diverse. We have people from different areas coming together, you know. I'll speak for YLAC because I support and I lead YLAC. YLAC is an institution for young leaders in Kenya that is managed by young leaders across the country, across the 47 countries. And we are in all the 47 counties. And we are in all the 47 counties. Our leadership is all inclusive, you know. At the national level, we have leaders from all the 47 counties. Then we go to the county level. The county is built of leaders from different sub-counties, and then we're going down to the ward level, you know, the same way devolution happened, right? So yes, we do have leaders. We are troublous, but we do have leaders, and we know that without leaders, we are not going anywhere. That's why we are building up.
Okay, okay. Mololo, when it comes to civic education, how would you say it has what is the state of prevalence within the younger generation in matters to do with civic education, because that is what informs them on matters, how they are going to approach matters to do with politics, leadership, governance, and everything?
Yes, Mike. Our main focus is generational shift. From those people, the old men who have been recycling up there, we have always called them the Waheshimiwa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Waheshimiwa. Now, we are calling up youths to talk even to their parents. I've been running a program of civic education in Kaiti constituency. Right now in Kaiti constituency, even dogs know who I am. They back my name.
So in terms of civic education?
In terms of civic education, we have coming up with what we call mini barazas led by youths. That is something that I've been doing. We together with a group called Musa. We have chiefs. The chief, they call a meeting. Yes, the local administration calls a meeting, and as youth, we are invited. I have members of youth that from Musa, the organization that I lead, were integrated in task force, local community task forces, where you find they are educating people. Also, we are urging our youth at personal level, you as an individual, talk to your parents, talk to your relatives, talk to everyone around you about change. But again, there's a challenge.
Which is?
Some of us, they don't believe that it can happen. Our fellow youth. Wewe mnajua tunafanya hii, lakini after all, itakuja hii, iharibiwe.
So how do we change that perception now? Because that is where kazi iko.
Hapo ndio kazi iko kwa wingi. Na saa hii, nataka kuambia wale wanarika wote, mahali mko, hii Kenya, everything is possible. Yes, we can change this country completely to a new generation that has interest of Kenyans in their hearts.
Okay.
We are facing challenges like unemployment. We are facing challenges of education. You've seen reforms which have taken place and affected our system of education. Right now, you saw that we had the help. It was changed to something that we don't understand. Just to make sure that those who qualify for universities, hawatasoma. There's something that I believe. The Waheshimiwas do believe that it is easier to control an illiterate population. You understand that? So they would try to cut off the cream. Ndio watu wasome carpentry, sijui nini, watakuwa easier to control. That's why they make education unaffordable. You see, those are things that we should do away genuinely with. Make education free for our people, create industries to absorb the youth. We have a lot of educated people, so many jobless. Why can't we come up and invest in industrialization?
But is it also the responsibility of government to create these jobs also? Should it be a collective or should it be left to the government? Because of course you went to school, you have skills, you have knowledge, and you're also supposed to create chance to formulate chances for yourself.
One challenge, youths have ideas, but they lack the resources. You will go again to the Waheshimiwa, you are presenting a project, and they tell you you are conning us. Who is conning you? It is a project that I'm doing. It is a project that it will assist me. You are being conned. How? They are supposed, again, as we come up with the ideas, let them invest in these youths. The money is there, the resources are there. They are just cut short from reaching the youth because they know when they spike up.
So the bottlenecks should be addressed.
Yes.
That is very important. Let's take a very short break. We'll be right back with this conversation. Stay with us. The conversation is still going on behind the scenes. And there's something Engineer Kevin amesema hapa which is very, it's funny and kind of potent. Yes. Like, when the youth are hungry, they are very wise.
Yes. I'm saying so. Thank you so much. I'm saying so because, and I'll say that without fear of contradiction, because I've seen so many youths, you know, condemning some politicians, but when they are called for some handouts, all of a sudden you hear, you know, after consultation, I have realized that this person is less a devil.
You have seen the light.
Yes, I've seen the light. So you see, that tells you that, you know, youths are indeed, they are very wise when they are very angry, but when they are given something small, all of a sudden they become so foolish, you know, for lack of a better term, they become so foolish and also so stupid. So it is, you know, in as much as we condemn older generation of politicians, we need to be sincere. You know, I believe that truth will always set us free. Let us stick to what we say. You know, let us not just say things for the sake of saying. Let us mean what we say and say what we mean. And with that, then we'll change the generation and we'll change, you know, the style of leadership. But if we are going to say things for the sake of saying, then honestly speaking, this will be a you know, a dream that we'll never achieve.
Yeah.
That one I can tell you for a fact.
Aisha, okay.
Change will start from me
Yes.
and them.
Yeah.
You know, if we are sincere, then we can be able to change the narrative. If we will not be sincere, we'll just be continuing the same story, you know, saying this, but in real sense, we don't mean the same thing.
Yeah.
So let us be honest. Let
Yes.
us be sincere as youths.
Yes.
Thank you.
Aisha,
Yes.
when it comes to approach, are you young people using the right approach to matters, governance, politics, everything else, governance?
Okay, from what I feel like from whatever is always said, that we have speed without direction, and we do things impulsively without thinking about most of the consequences. That's my, maybe you might define
For
opinions.
sure.
So for instance, going to the streets and trying to put blame on all these politicians, whether you've met them on a personal level, and it paints a picture that we're trying to fight all elders, we're trying to fight everyone that is in the system, not realizing that they are in a revolution or in an evolution. I feel like we should take the movement more of an evolutionary process than a total revolution. So we have to have them still, but they should be there as a as consultation agencies, or just as our backup, as people who will help us walk this journey. So in as much as we want to be part of the, we want to expand the table, we want to have inclusionary policies, we should not dismiss them in totality. So I feel like our approach has painted us as anti-government, as anti-elders, as anti-everyone that is already in this system. But I feel like these are our potential allies at a point, and we will need them. So if we want to progress, let us work and strive towards achieving what we want, but still have them, because we cannot disregard the experience that they have. In as much as we're changing, but some things, or this transformation is going to take a long while. This transformation needs a lot of people, and this experience is what we also need. So we should not sideline them in totality. So I feel like our approach should be more clear, and we can mend some few things, and everything will be okay in our movement.
Mololo, Aisha says something very important. The leaders that we have right now, we should not see them as adversaries, but friends. How then do you bring them together, the youth and this leader together, to speak in one voice and address issues that are being raised, not only by the youth, but also the bigger citizenry?
Yes. One thing, Mike, there's a msemo say, ukimpigia mbuzi ni gitaa.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find I'm not disregarding them in any way, but I find them sometimes demeaning. You'll approach a leader with a very, very, very brilliant idea, and they will view you like, wewe unisaidii, hii ni ya utoto. That is why we want a totally youth-led government. It is possible. Barack Obama said, yes, we can, and he did. Why do I say this? In the conclave with the old men, or our leaders, and us the youth, you'll be told, I have 20 years of experience. Yet what we are fighting genuinely is not addressed. Issues to do with corruption. Issues to do with reforms which we think, or which, if employed in our nation, can really transform it completely. They will be disregarded, and you will be put in the pocket. Utawekwa kwa mfuko. Na utaongea. One thing that is really disregarding our unity is the politics of tokenism. Even today, fellow youth who are watching me, they will say, huyu hana pesa, hatutamsupport.
The same thing,
Yes.
the same thing that
Yes.
Kevin said.
It's something that we need to do away with completely. That we can rise as genuinely as we are and say, Waliuba is ours, she wants to be the women rep, please, we will support her genuinely, without the funds.
Yes.
It is a challenge.
Are we there yet?
We are not there. It is a challenge because some of your allies, your friends, they will be told, we sukuje nikupee hii 50k, wachana na huyo jamaa. And atasema, okay, Mololo is a wise man. He can change the society, but let my pocket be quiet. Na anaenda hivyo. Another thing. Okay, we have seen young people being elected. I won't mention someone. But immediately ameingia kwa ofisi, he is absorbed to the system. Anakuwa hata huu si ule waliuba tulimpea hii kiti. This is not the son who was really vying to be a different MP. He has changed completely. 2 months, he comes with a big stomach. Very bad.
Look, okay. Oliver, you want to
I want
contribute?
to differ with Molola a little bit,
Yes.
but to also add on to what is mentioned.
Yes.
One thing that I want to appreciate the current generation is how we are shaping things, you know. I know today we are talking about Youthquake, but we're not bringing earthquakes. Otherwise, rather than earthquakes, we are building partnerships, you know. One thing that I want to appreciate is the fact that us, the youth, are actually spearheading an intergenerational collaborative kind of strategy or approach, where we want to appreciate the older generation. They've been there, they have the experience, they know the systems that we do not know, right? We saw, for us, we were going out on the streets, we were picketing, we were rioting and all those, but did it bear fruits? Barely not, right? So we, the youth, are coming on board and saying that we can learn from the older generation, and they're not different from us. And they can also learn from us. We have the energy, we have the ideas, we have the innovation. In as much as they want to say we do not have the experience, we have the lived experience. We know what is needed for us to be at the top where they are, right? And they know what is needed for us to be brought to the top. So what we are really urging the people ahead of us is that not to see us as enemies, not to see us as rioters, but to look at us as partners. You know, we can do this together. I'll come with my energy, I'll come with my innovation. Then you're coming in with the experience and resources. You know, most of the older people have money. So please bring the resources and come work with us. We need to work together if we are to see the change that we want to see, for sure.
Just one more question to all of you. What is more important, change of leaders or change of style of leadership in politics? Let me start with you.
Thank you so much. I think that's a very important question. And myself, I will say I'm a consumer for intelligence. And yes, I'm a consumer. And actually, you know, when you say, do we need to change leaders or style of leadership? It's really a very nice question in this way. Well, I was following up one youth, and he said one thing that, oh, well, myself, as a youth, I will not follow politicians blindly because, number one, there are some, you know, he mentioned some politicians. He mentioned, I'll not mention the names. He was like, you know, if these politicians have been calling themselves name for years in and years out, and all of a sudden they are together, they are dining together, what makes me as a youth, you know, hate another politician? So he was like, you know, as a youth, I'll also conform to the system. If I'll be called to the table and being offered some money, I'll conform to the system. I'll also join the table and all that. So you see, changing, you know, we might change people, we know we may change leaders, but you see now the, you know, the behaviors are still the same. For me, I would say we need to change the style of leadership because we need to have people who mean what they say, as I said earlier, and people who stand for what they say. You know, as young leaders, if we, you know, we learn a lot from you know, older generation of leaders and all that, and we, you know, we pick what we see from them. And myself, I would say, I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I'm under PLO Foundation, Kenyan chapter. And I will say that someone like PLO is really doing a nice job, you know, in promoting, you know, young leaders and all that, in instilling good morals and all that. And for me, I will say I have seen him impacting, you know, young leaders and all that. So we need to change the style of leadership because we still have some older leaders who are very nice, like PLO, as I've said. They're doing some nice job. Style of leadership is the key here. Let us change the narrative. All right. All that. Thank you.
Leaders, change of leaders or change of style of leadership in politics?
I want to say it will depend on the leader that I'm addressing, and it could also depend on the style that I'm addressing. I want to use an example of something that has been going viral recently. Our MP from Ugenya recently mentioned that they were brought a very unpopular bill in Parliament. They passed it for an individual, you know, and now they're here being told to do otherwise. It's because they have been pinched somewhere, right? So it means that's a wrong leader. I need to change that leader because they're not working for the people. They're not working for me. If I am from Ugenya and I have placed you there to run my interest, but you are running another person's interest, does it mean that my interest is not valid? Does it mean that I will not, because I need some development, that will not be developed because the other person says, you cannot be able to do this in the right way, because definitely that was the right way to not do it, the wrong way to not do it. So for me, it will depend on whom we are addressing. If the leader is wrong, please let us change the leader. And the systems, if the styles are not working for us Kenyans, right? Because what we've also seen is the lack of independency in terms of the leadership. The leaders are more aligned to political parties, and they're also aligned to individuals. So, you know, we have to weigh in both. Either the leader is wrong or the style is wrong.
All right. Mololo, quickly. Leaders or style of leadership?
We are all built of different characters as individuals. I will have specific characters that she doesn't bear. Leaders, first and foremost, we have leaders who are in political position, not because they deserve, but because they just woke up and say, I want to be something. And when they went out in the field, they got it. They don't have the what we call the attributes of a good leader. Let us change leaders who are self-centered. They are there, we know them. And let us also change our style of leadership. There's a lot.
All right. Aisha.
Okay. For me, I'd say I'll have a change of leadership style and not a change of leaders, because I feel like changing the leadership style would go deeper into even changing the systemic structures that are there to fit the generation that is being addressed. When we say changing leaders, we'll just be creating the same cycle if we still have the same structures, the same inherited structures put in place before us. So I feel like we should change the style of leadership and not the leader, because the cycle will still continue if we still have the inherited structures.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is where we end this conversation, but I appreciate all of you for your time. That is Aisha M. Wachido, Engineer Mololo Kelvin, Elizabeth Waliuba, and Engineer Kevin Sang joining us here on Good Morning Kenya, Future Voices on Entertainment Thursday, talking about matters that pertain to the nation. This is where this segment ends. Thank you for watching. My name is Mark Migwe. Entertainment Thursday continues shortly.